Hello guys, so today we are building to-do app using React. So what is React first? Let's check. If we go to our Chrome and search for React, and this will give us React.js is library for building user interface. So we can say that React.js is library used for building websites, means interactive websites. So why we are using this? We have HTML, right? So why we are using React? React is component-based framework, and we can say learn once, write anywhere. Means you have to write one component, and you can use that component everywhere. And it is easy to understand as it is HTML based. You can see there are HTML tags and JSX, and they use Jsx. If you see this code, this is all Jsx. So what is Jsx? So Jsx, let's search for what is Jsx. Jsx is neither HTML but it work as HTML. Jsx are the JavaScript extension. Means it is the extension of JavaScript. You can say here this part. This is considered as a JSX. Okay, JS, which is look like an HTML tag, but we call that as a JSX. Okay, then okay, so this is the basic introduction of React, right? And this is a framework or library of JavaScript, right? JavaScript have other libraries too, like Angular, Vue. So why we are using this React? First, React is library, and library means we can say that as a micro framework, because if we compare to Angular is like a big framework where they have all set of libraries, all set of their configuration files already declared variables, and all those things are in that framework only. In React, if we want anything, we have to install another library, okay, like the React DOM, etc., right? So React router, so we have to install libraries. So what is React? Means who developed React? So React is backed by Facebook. So yes, it won't go anywhere, because if a giant company like Facebook is backing React, means they are using in their app too, in their websites. So if we go to Facebook website, Instagram websites, WhatsApp, everywhere they use React. Okay, and yes, that's it for the introduction part. So as I say, we are building to-do app. So to-do app means set of tasks that I have to perform today. I will list the set of tasks that I will perform today. So if I just completed that task, then I will mark that task as a complete. If I don't want to complete that task, then I will delete that task. And if I want to add a new task, then I will add a new task. Basically, to-do app is hello world for frameworks, right? While learning new language, we write hello world program. So while learning frameworks, we write means we build to-do app. So why to-do app? Because in that we mostly perform crude functionality like adding to-dos, deleting to-dos, edit, and yes, add update delete. That's it. So let's start. So what we have to do is we have to open our terminal. So I am using PowerShell. Okay, so this is how it means. The look of PowerShell is good. So if you want to know about this, then just comment down below. Yeah. So let's go to our directory, which is suppose then I have to make directory. CD React, and in CD React I want something. Okay, so how to build our project. So if we go to their documentation and create a new React app, here we can see they have command like create npx create React app. So what are the prerequisites for this? First one, you need Node. So what is Node? Node.js. So Node. Okay. Node.js is JavaScript runtime build on Chrome version 8 JavaScript engine. So it is basically a JavaScript engine. So here you have to go and download the stable version, not the current version, because maybe current version have some bugs. So just go with stable version, latest stable version. So just go here, download, and next and finish. That's it. You will set up the node. After that you have to check node is installed or not. So for that you have to do node -v. Okay, my version is 12.18.3. let's see, 12.3. okay, I'm with that. So it's older, but it's fine. Then what I want is yarn. So what is yarn? If you know npm yarn, yarn is package manager. So SAP and stable producible projects. So yarn is also package manager, and npm means node package manager, and yarn is also package manager. We are using yarn because it is simple and it won't give error that much, because npm gives so much errors to me. I don't know why. So I use yarn. So go with yarn. Let's build project. If we go here, okay, these two requirements you have to install those. So how to install yarn? Simply you have to let's see, I don't know. You have to go here, npm install yarn, and hit enter. That's it. Okay, so yeah, I have to create a new project, right? So let's create a new project. So just press enter, and my project name is to-do app. Okay, to-do app. So it will take some time to run this. Okay, so yeah, no longer contain capital letters. Yeah, that's why I run like this, because I just want to show you some errors. So first, yeah, it in React app or React project name you can't use capital letters, so you have to do like to do app see. Let's just work. So it is installing React, React DOM, React script, React template, etc. And I'm using Yarn. If you install Yarn, it will defaultly treat as, means it will directly treat as Yarn when install. If you use npm, then you can say npm install. Okay, back again. So it will take much time, as you can see. So okay, so yeah, almost 10 minutes. So you can just do other things. Meanwhile, so if we just let's run this project. So as they said, we suggest that you begin by typing this cd to app. Okay, and yarn start is for running the tutor. Means if we have to run this app, then we will use yarn start. For now, what I will do, I will just open in my code editor, VS Code. Yes, and now we can just run yarn start. So if you are using PHP or something, XAMPP, that PHP website means Apache server, then okay. So PHP XAMPP run on 8080 port 8080, localhost port 8080. And React app is running on 3000 port 3000. So yeah, 3000 apps. So this is our first React app. Simple, just this PNG is moving, or we can say rolling. Okay, let's see our project files. So if we come here, you can see package.jsx. So this is an important file. So here we have all our packages. Means if we want to install more package, like for routing means changing. Routing is like linking or navigating from one place to another. Means if I want to click on home or about button, then it will be navigate to about section. So for that purpose, we require React router. Okay, and etc. libraries are there. We will discuss in we will discuss this in future videos. So git ignore file. If we are pushing this project or git, then this says that just ignore this file. And this is public folder. So public folder, this is our main HTML file. From here we are getting everything. Suppose if I just change name, name to suppose title to app, and it's save, and just go to there. Okay, here you can see Google, right? Let's change to Google app 2 or app 2. but just put it. So as you can see, I haven't used refresh, but still we can see these changes. So React comes with we can say like most important feature, which is hot reloading, or we can say like live reloading in web. So if I change something in my code, it will directly replicate here without hitting refresh, right? That saves most of the time, because if we change something and just we want to change, like let's see this color is changed or not, then we can just come here and see the color is changed. We don't have to refresh. So what I will do is I will structure this like this, so we can just see side by side change. Okay, let's first discuss the folder. So this is logo. Just click on this, and yeah, this is PNG file, which is rotating, and yeah, and other files we don't need that much. So index.js. From here, our React.js project started. This is app. Okay. This is basically rendering our app component. As we discussed earlier, this is called as JSX, and this JSX is rendered in root element. If you know the simple JavaScript, right, then you will understand this like document.getElement by ID. So where we find a root element, just append this to that element in root element. Let's see what is our root element. Where is our root? So we can see root element is here. So everything will be here. Suppose if I type here, you can see this PNG image and edit.src app.js. Okay, this all content come here using JSX or JavaScript, let's say. Okay, and CSS for index CSS means the CSS which we want to implement everywhere. Okay, for now we don't need it, so just like padding also 0. Sorry. Okay. So yeah, it gives errors. Okay, so it gives error like failed to compile. But okay, here, this is the main advantage of React. We can just see error in front of our eyes. We don't have to debug this most of the time. Yeah. If I just save, and yeah, it will get reloaded. I don't know why. Let me just change this to maybe because of error. Let's just refresh once. Okay, and just change this app to app. Okay, fine. Then this is app. Okay, app. Here we have our main functionality, means whatever we do here will be replicated here. So if I just remove edit, yeah, you can see. Right. Suppose if I just remove this part also. Okay. If I remove link to, and if I want to remove everything, blank, and now I want only h1. Right. Hello world. Okay. So why it is center aligned? Because we have CSS here in Amazon. So we don't need some CSS, so just leave that spin. We don't want that spinning part. We don't need link and all header. Don't need this too. Yeah. Let's keep the pixel and center because we want. Okay. So yes, this is Jsx. So what we can do is just remove all of this. Just clean our project. Then we need index. We don't need logo.svg, right? So just delete this. Then okay, just keep those files. I know we don't need them, but okay. Delete this. Delete it. Fine. So our app is clean. Okay. Maybe I have some problem, so it is not reloading, but it have to reload. Just check on your PC. Okay. So element type are invalid. Yes. So yes, we are importing app here, right? But there is nothing in app folder. App file. So what we have to do is to write that component again. So one way is like function app this one. Another way is const app is equal to Is6 syntax. Okay. So yeah, so but I don't want to write this every time, so we have our app react function C default text, but we want exported button, so RFCE. So how I'm doing this? So if we go to extensions, and so which extension we require? So first one is auto closing tag. Why? Because if I just change D, suppose if I change H1, you can see the ending tag is also changed. If I change H3, that's why we require auto closing tag. Then auto import, suppose if I want to import library, then so most important is React. Okay, ES7 Redux React. This one. We need this one to be installed, so just hit install here and reload your editor. That's it, you have to do. Suppose, okay, back to app folder and hello world. Okay, why you are not loading? Okay, I don't know, it happens. So this time we don't have hello world at center because I haven't used this file. So to use this file, we have to import this file. So import app.cs. So if we just see here, so how we import if that is CSS file, then we have to import it like this, and if that is other file, we have to import in another way. So I will show you that in later in video. So yeah. And here in normal HTML we give like class, right? So class, the class name is app. So yes, class name is app. Class is it. So yeah, it is aligned center, but let's see. It gives some warning, right? Invalid DOM property class. Did you mean class name? Yeah, but why you are not blah blah blah. So why you are not expecting class? So name. So yes, we want class name. Okay. So why you are not expecting class from me? So as I say, this is JSX, right? JSX means actually JavaScript, which render HTML. So in JavaScript, the last keyword is reserved for class, means class. Okay. So I just want to declare that or quick note here. We are using functional component now, but there are class-based components too. Means class-based components. Let's see. Are C E. So these are class-based components. Class app extends from component. Okay. So if you are object-oriented programmer or just want to do everything in class, you can use this. But I am not big fan of class, so I will use function. So just undo. Okay. Hello world, back to hello world. Why you are not refreshing? Okay, let's go. Sometimes it's, I don't know. Sometimes does it happen with me or I don't know. Let's see. Just comment down if you face same problem. Right, while refreshing. Sometimes it refresh. Let's see. If I just say 2, yeah, it refresh. But sometimes it is not. So yeah. So what we want is to do app. So to do app will look like, okay. So to do app will look like this. First one. So how we write comments in? For comments, I have to use this in this curly bracket. So if I want to write something in JavaScript, I have to use this curly bracket. This is simple. So if I am writing comment in JavaScript, then I have to use this curly bracket. So just remember, when we are writing anything inside of this return, inside of this div or component, we have to always use this curly bracket. And there are exceptions sometimes, maybe. So we can discuss that exception here. So first one is like input, from where I will take input. Then it will show me the to-dos. Just copy paste. Okay, in to-dos I want to do. So I'm just structuring here. Okay. In to do I want to do. So 1, 2, 3. Suppose to do 1, to do 2, to do 3, and there are a bunch of add, delete, not add actually. We can say complete, delete, complete, delete. Okay, so this is the basic structure what we want. So let's start with input. Okay, so for input, so these are basically components. So I want all this in component folder. So in VS Code we have a button for new folder. So add components. In components I want this input.js. So we are not using HTML, we are using JS. So input.js. So yes, we have to write CSS for styling purpose, right? So we are going with Bootstrap. So what is Bootstrap? If we are not aware of, sorry, newer version of Bootstrap code. Let's see. Fast and responsive. Let's get started. 5. Okay, Bootstrap 5 is there. Okay, so we will use Bootstrap 5. So yes, we want this CSS. So as I say, everything in this index.html file. This is only HTML file you can found in this project. So we will write here. So how to know that it is imported or not? So you can just write class name as text center, because this is okay. So shit, I think it is available. Okay, so yes, I just go back and use text center. Yeah, so HTML is working. So in input.js, same I will do rfce and hit enter, and here I want input. So I will write input type text, placeholder is equal to enter task, or we can say to do. For now we are saying task, and we can say class. Okay, let's just first see how it is. Okay, why you are not displaying? Okay, why? So what we have to do is to import that input in app, because from here everything is started. From here you can say this is the entry point. So I have to say input. So that's why I use auto import, because it will just automatically import from this specific folder. See, I don't have to write. Yeah, enter task. It is working, right? So yes, input task. And if we go back here, and if I just apply, okay, we don't need it to like, right? So I want button here as add, and I want that button, sorry, class name is equal to button primary. So these are, you can say, bootstrap classes. So if I want form, okay, so class name, and I think that was form control, right? Also this, okay, so form control sm, yes, form control sm. Yeah, just confirm in doc, yeah, documentation, search doc for form control. So these are full forms, form control as form control sm. So right, I think I have to write this too. So form control and form control sm. Okay. I don't know why adding this. So just do form control. Okay, so let's first just go here and remove this hello world, and we want here like my to do app or my to do app. And I want some margin, so I will just paste this here. This is just some styling. Okay. So type last name is equal to margin y. So margin y axis. So we can go for 5. Okay, good. So let's see. If I want to add to do add, okay, nothing is happening because we are not doing anything. So what we can do is the main concept comes here is first one is states. So what are the state? In simple words, I can say that state, suppose if we consider as a to do. So to do is basically one state. If I change this to do 2, or if I just change to do 2, okay, this is another state, means state change. Okay, so I think rather than explaining, it will be easier to just implement and then explain. So we will use state hook. So in previous versions of React, there was no hooks. So we have to use classes, class components, and then we have to do everything. But when hooks are integrated, means added in React, then the popularity of React is increases, everything is increases. Because hooks are easy to understand, and most of the people are like, okay, why we are using, I will use another class if everything we can do from here, from hooks. So use state. So first time it is like, okay, what is it, what it is doing, okay, but if you use this for almost 2-3 projects, then you will understand what is use state, how it works. Okay, so yes, so use states is from React, so we have to use state. As the name says, we have to use state. So we have to initialize that state with some value. So we are using this for input, right? So we want that input. We want this input. Okay. We want this input, right? So for that we can write input text and set input text. Set input text. So if you have used JavaScript before, then you will understand that if you want to set something, means if you want to change the value of something, then we can write that value and then append to that value, right? Means if we use pure JS, then we have to write bunch of stuff to do that. But in use states, we can write like this. Const. If I change the value, let's first console log this. Console log input text and see what it is. Okay, here you can see. If I say input text to ABC by default, then we can say ABC. So if I want to change this input text, then what I have to do? Simply I have, first one is variable, means you can say variable, and second one is function to change that variable. So you can just change there, like suppose Mitesh, and yes, copy this. Okay, oh my god, refresh. Okay, so why this happens? Because I use F. Okay, so I will write one condition here for now, just to understand that it is working. Okay, I don't think I have to write, because as you can see it is done, right? So ABC then change the message because of this. So yes, you understand, right? We use this set input text just to change the input text. So just clear this, and we have to pass this to input. So what is passing means? What we have to do to pass? So components, this is one component, right? This is input component, and we can pass props to this component. Props is considered like a parameter to function. Okay, because this is function and we need parameters, right? So how we can pass parameters here? Or we can say props. So first one is input text. You can use any variable name here. I will use go with same because it will be easy to understand what is changing. And I want another to set that text. So set input text is equal to this. Okay, so if I go to this input, then I can access those variables from here using props, like this. Props dot input text. Okay, sorry. We have to just console log. Okay, so yes, if I just remove this and implement this, then you can see in input at line number 4 we have this. So input text is working, right? So yes. So if I change everything here, then that will be changed. So this is one way to access prop, but I'm not fan of it. So the easiest and simpler way to destructure that. So destructuring means whatever we're writing, like props dot name input text, set input text, we have to write like this. Simple input text or set input text. Okay. So value of the input text, right? Input have value, right? So I just want to set that value to input text. So you can see here ABC. If I want to change, nothing is happening, right? Nothing is happening. I am trying to change that value, but nothing. So what I want is to change that value. So how we can change that value? Using onChange, right? onChange is equal to E, and we want to change that value. So first we can say like handle change for now, and handle change. So yes, handle change is not defined, so we have to define a const handle change. Okay, handle change have one parameter which is event, and I just have to console.log that event. Okay, let's see. Here you can see event, change, and a bunch of information. But we want target, right? We want target, and specifically in target we want the value. Where is value? Value. Okay. Specifically in target. Okay, let's see. Dot target dot value. Okay, let's try to change. If AB. Okay. I can see their ABC, but you are saying AB. Okay, maybe some problem, right? Now we have to change that input text, right? First we said that input here default to ABC. Now we want to change that, and how we change that here using set input text, right? I did write here like set input text message. So same way we have to write here set input text this value is ABC or whatever the value will be, target value. Okay, just hit refresh. Ta-da. Okay, it is working. If I say message, yeah, you can see message. To do, yes, everything is working well. So if we want that here, then I can say h2 is equal to input text, right? In this component, this is input text, right? So if I just change A, B, C, or I can say like hello world, happy new year to all. Ta-da. Okay, good. So just remove this for now. Okay, everything is well, but I want to add this, right? Till now we just input that value, so I want to add somewhere, means to the task list, right? So we have to use another state, which is we require two states. First one is to-dos. To-dos means collection of to-do. So that is a collection of to-do. So obviously we require use state and obviously a to-do state to-do to basically an object, which is first one ID. So or we can just say simply like this, empty. To-do is empty, input text. So we require to-do. So how we can add to this, means how we can add. So for that, on clicking we require on click. If I click on add, then it will be ABC or whatever that will be get added to that this to-do, right? So we have to say First we require this to do and to do. To do and set to do is this set to do, and again I have to go here destructure like this. You can just change the order also. To do and set to do. If I say on click, then we want to handle add to do. Okay, so let's do this like this. We don't require this here. I will just want handle add to do. Okay, so handle add to do. Right. So handle add to do, rather than passing to do, I will pass handle add to do, and to handle add to do, I will again pass handle add to do. So I am using this repeated word only because to understand that I have used this. So I want const handle add to do, and here I just write console.log hello or click. Okay, no different. So I just want to make this empty. If I just say message and add, oh sorry, console.log. Let's say application add. Yes, it is working, right? So here I have to do we can say set to do. To first we require ID. So ID, I want random ID, right? Means I want separate ID for each to do. So for that, let's check how we can use random. Get random number in Jsx random method. So this will give me simply a random number which is between 0 to 1. But now I want not 0 to 1, 1000. Okay. So ID is this. Then I want title, or we can select task. To do name, okay, ID name. Let's go with name, and name will be input text, whatever the input will be, and I want completed, or you can say is completed. So obviously if I added this, so it is not completed yet, and I want to check if to do is set or not. So console.log and just see to do. Okay, wait a minute. If I say hello, and it is nothing. Why? I have added, right? I have added this. Why you are not working? So let's just debug the code. What is going wrong? So in input text, I came here. If I just say input text, here input text. On click, we require this. We get. Okay. Here we want e dot prevent default. If I added this, then you can see. So let's close this and hello. Okay, added it. Then this is this. So what is happening here is in input text on change value is changed, right? So when I click on this, when I click on handle add to do button, then what I was doing is just using this stage, right? So what I have to do is to go here, set input text is equal to input text first, and then use this. So let's go back and try to add. Okay, the second click it is working. It completed false, name add. So I think what is happening is, wait a minute. Let's check what is happening. H1, and if I say input text, right? That's it. Yep. Everything is working here. Yes, you have to add. Let's check e dot prevent default. Prevent default. So add. No, not working. I don't know why. Let's check. Right. Means on first click it is taking as the input, right? If I just console.log input text, and then it will be, I go to W, then why you are not adding? That is my question. So for now I will just say as null. Yeah, for now I will just say as null and just add a message. Let's see if it is changing. No, it's not changing. Okay, got it. So what is happening, guys? So we are doing this here, right? We are setting to do's, and at the bottom we are calling to do. So yeah, that's what is happening. So yes, we have to check this. So how to check this is Okay, so what we can do is we don't require to do, right? Why we require to do? Just remove it. Don't require. So set to do and it's set to do. And in set to do's, I want this object, or we can just say const to do is equal to this object. Yeah, cut paste this object, and here I want all the to do. Suppose can go ahead and say I want my previous data, previous values in the array, and the structure of that previous array, and add new to do. Yes, the handling to do. So how to check that it is inserted or not? So for that we require to do's, means to do component, to do component. So we can just go and create to do's.js and to do.js. So in to do's rfce, I want here to do. In to do's we need to do's, to do's. In to do's we need to do's, so we have to pass. Okay, let's first structure this, right? First rfce, and here we require div, then text. What are those parameters? Name and complete. For now I will just use this complete, or you can say it's complete, right? It's completed. So if we go to app.js and let's see, we have to add this here. To do. That's it. So it gives me an error. Let's see. If we go to to-dos, and to-dos require a list of to-dos, so I will say to-dos, and for now I will just console dot log that to-dos. Suppose for now just add one and say to-do section, and I want add. So this is okay. Let's just empty this. Then we can say added. Okay, and now I hit add. Then you can see this is 0 number element. Then I can say 2. There are 2 elements. Then I can say 3. Then there are 3 elements. Okay, so arrays are to-dos are there. So basically what happened was we are just setting that to-dos and displaying below that. So that's why it does not work. So here we want to-dos dot map. So map is function to iterate where it is basically work as a for loop. it works as for, but not for. So yes, we want an atom. And we will use to do here. Yes, for to do. One auto import for to do. Name is equal to item dot name, and to do is completed is equal to item dot is completed. Okay, I will just remove this and I will add. Okay, why you are not displaying? Okay, why you are not displaying? Because in to-dos, we go to to-dos, we are not doing anything. Suppose I will say h1 and to do. So I go here, then to hello, hello 2, hello 3, hello 4. Okay. There are a bunch of stuff. Okay. So now I want name and it's completed. So this is basically, and you can say class name. You just say as a container, and in container we want row class name. This is basically a bootstrap, so I'm not saying that what I'm doing. So basically I'm doing this in a row. That's it. And in row I want name class name is equal to, you can say call. So there are 12 columns, so basically I'm giving 8 and 8, say like name, and div class name 4. So we can just add here as call 2, and you can say completed. Okay, so this is, you can use this. Yeah, and I want this to be h1 or paragraph person. If I say p, then name, and I'm saying p, so I want text left. Yeah, it is working on it. Sorry. H. Okay, so what is happening is text line center is working very well here. So what we will do, we will structure this later. First just do then we can just structure this. I think if I just remove this, and then this, here, and here I will use container. And input will be, this is my input, right? Then I can say class name is equal to margin x auto. not working. Or we can go for text center. Maybe and then so that okay, yeah, it worked. It worked. Okay, let's say 2. Okay, so I want some margin, right? So margin bottom. So I will use margin y of 4. Okay, and if we go to do, then we want something like color. Okay? We want some different color. So I will just style so let me style this. Yeah, so we want color or background color. So why I'm using this here, because to show how we write style in JSX. So yeah, there is nothing like background color. We have to write without hyphen and the first letter. You can select camel case. And yes, I want something like this. So that it's not looking good. So I want margin y2 and some padding y2. Okay. So yes, you can say like this. We don't require P because P takes that space. Yeah, that's why it is. Okay, so yes, this is padding 2 and go for 3 also. Yes, and these are completed. We can say like this completed. I just cut this and paste here. Okay, and button. For now, I'm using this button and saying that it's complete. And here we can simply say like delete. So for delete, so it is looking too ugly, so I just need to give class name is equal to btn. You can select info and I added and same for this for danger. That's it. And this is looking too ugly, so oh my god, this is too ugly too. Why? Okay, let me give some margin x-axis to margin x-axis to what the I don't know why. Okay, let me just figure this and see what is going on here. Okay, so yeah, it is imaging. We are using this column. In column we have this name, and for now we can just say P. If I just give this here, this is okay. Then info. Yes, if I give this x-axis here, then it is not good, right? So that's why I can say padding is maybe padding x-axis 2, padding x-axis 4. What is this? Just in tricks. Then obviously we can use margin, right? Margin x-axis 2. Why you are not separating? Oh boy. Oh, I. Okay. Or okay. I don't know why, but it is like this. Okay. So just change this color. Let's go to skin color. This color is good. So I want it to and that padding again. Okay, we can do one thing here. We will go to index.css and just add a p here, and that will solve our issue. Let's say add. Why you are coming? Then complete it. Okay, so nothing is working still here. Okay. Okay. So till now we have added this add button. Okay. So our next task is to add the delete button. But before that, I have to do something. Yes, we have to do something. Suppose, yeah, you can see one problem here is the key. Means it is giving warning that each task or each to do should have one key. So if I add a task 2, then the another problem is this. If I added this, then why it should be here? It is like if I added something, then if I added say so task 3, then it should be empty, right? Like this. So we have to do something. So for that we have to say set input text to empty. After adding, just set input text to empty in handle add to the function. So let's check. Let's say task O add. Okay, this one. And let's check this problem. So if we go into the section or introduce, I haven't passed key here, so I have to pass key. So why we require key? Key is basically it will just use to render that elements on the screen. React render elements depending on the components. So if we have specific components or same kind of components, then key help React to understand which atom will render new. Means if I add task 7, then the only task 7 will render here. All these tasks 4 already rendered. So yes, for it is like in comment section where we have already rendered comment and a new comment rendered after that. So key specifies which item should render and which item should not, or yes, like that. So we can just pass key from here. So key, and I can pass key is specific. So if we have ID which is specific for each task or each to do. So we say here task 5. This, yes, this should become, yes, this error is not okay, yes, or warn. So let's jump into delete. So yeah, we have added to do from app.js, or we can say our entry point. So same way we can add delete from here, handle delete to do. So to do, and this requires one parameter, but we can just discuss that later. So we can say delete, and delete button is in to do. So I want to call select on click. I want to call this handle delete to do from here. Yeah, I can call from here, but how? By passing prop by prop, we can say by drilling down the props. So in app.js we have handle delete to do function. So I have to pass this function as a prop to to-dos where we have to do. Okay. In to-dos I will get that handle delete to do, and same way I will just pass downward again. So in to-dos same, I will just get that prop, and now I can use it. So let's see, delete, yes, it is working. If I say task 2, it is working, task 2. But now we have one problem, is if I click on delete, it should say like delete this task 1, not like delete every task. So we need one specific thing, and in terms of specific things we have ID. So we need ID. So how to get that ID? I can pass name and is completed. So I can pass ID too. So like this, we can just pass ID from to do. So just get that ID from to do. Yes, and we can pass that ID here. And if we go to do, sorry, in app.js, just use this parameter ID, and yes, ID. Let's check. If I click on task 1, yes, the ID of task 1 is this, and ID of task 1 is this. So you can just check. Yeah, ID of task 1 is this, task 2 is this. If I click on task 3, task 3, yes, ID of task 3 is this. So good. So now we want delete. So delete means what? Delete means basically removing that element from the array. As simple as that. Deleting that atom from the array. To delete, we have to go to app.js. Yes, we are in app.js. So const temporary to do, and yes, I want all those to-dos. So this will give me all to-dos in temporary array. And to delete, I will say one function, which is filter function. So we say const filtered items is equal to temp to do dot filter. So if we say filter description, it is saying that it will return element of array that meets the certain condition. Means we have to pass one condition here. And filter, we can say filter works same as, not working in terms of iteration, it iterate as like a for loop, or we can say map. So here I have to pass to do, and now I am checking one condition, that if to do dot id is equal to id, and this will give us the to do on which we are clicking, right? I'm just equal to means basically it will give me array on which we are clicking. So if I click on this, then this will give me task 1. Let's see. Yes, it is giving me task 1. If I click on task 2, it is giving me task 2. But we want, if I click on this, I don't want this, right? So that's it. I don't means like a negative. So I just have to change to not. I don't want this. And if I click on task 1, then this will give me task 2 and 3. If I click on task 2, then this will give me task 1 and 3. Yeah, good. So it is going well. Now if I want, okay, to make that working, I just want to set to do's to the filtered item. Why filtered item? Because I just want those items only in to do's. Okay, it is working. It is working. So yes, it is working. Task 1. Okay. So delete part is completed. Let's dive into completed section, or is completed section. So yes, first we want to change this type. I don't like this type. Or we can say yes, or we can say like this, I don't like this thing. So I will just go with simple. I will say if it is true, then just say not completed. If it is false, then say completed. So if I say I have to check one condition here, we can write JavaScript in curly brackets. So it's completed. If it is completed, then say completed. If it is not completed, then say not completed. Let's see. Yeah, it is saying not completed. If I say task 2, it is saying not completed. Yeah, that's cool because it is giving me information. So what if all the tasks are true? So I say true. I change true, and task 3, yes, it says it is completed, because if we go to task 3, yeah, we can see it completed is true, and for task 1 and 2 it is false. That's we all want. So in the same way, if we go to app.js, I will handle same thing here, const handle complete to do and just console.log completed. And after that we can just go here in completed. So I have to pass completed here as we do in delete. So if we go to to-dos, then we need here too, and same way we have to pass downward. You can select prop drilling in to-dos. Again I will come here and say complete to do, and same way I will just call here on click and say like this. Yeah, okay, so let's check. Okay, something went wrong. Okay, so it is not completed in app.js. If you go to app.js, yeah, it is not complete. Sorry for that. Okay, then if we say completed, okay, that's good. And now we can just go to to-dos, and if we click on this, same way I want ID, so I will pass ID here, and let's check if it is working with ID or not. So I will get ID here too, and I will just add as ID. So yes, let's say delete. Okay, this is yes, I'm getting ID. So now I want to change that thing, means that it's completed to completed. So for that we will use map function. So same way I will just use temporary array first, and after that temporary to do dot map, and we will get one to do at a time. And for the first to do I will check condition, or for every to do I will check condition that to do dot id is equal to that specific id we are clicking on. Then just change that to do's is complete to you can say for true now, because we have to change something here. And after that set to do to this temporary to do. Let's check. Let's say completed. Let's say completed. But now I want to make this as incomplete, so I realize that this task is not completed yet. So what I have to do is, so I have to pass this. So I have to say something like this. I just have to make this is complete negative. And if it is true, then that will be false. So yes, that's it. So, if task was completed, then make as incomplete. Yeah, that's it. You can just change like this. And that's it for today, guys. I hope you like this video where we complete add, we can say edit is like completed or not completed, and delete. Yeah, if you want we can just change name also. Yeah, if you want, then we can just change name and we can get the change name also. That part you can do by yourself. So yes, that's it for today, guys. Thank you for watching this video, and hopefully we will make more videos like this. And don't forget to share this video, like, share and subscribe my channel, Mr. Mephisto. So yeah, so let's get a quick overview. Task 1, No, you can select task 3. I can add. Yeah. Okay. So yes, I have to change this to false. Yes, because that's a one change limit. Because by default tasks are not completed, so I will just change that. So task 4, and you can select not completed. And now I realize that task is completed, then complete it. That's it. So yes, you can just delete. Okay. So overview, in terms of overview, we can say add delete is deleting that to do. Here we just get that to do like name from the input text, and completed is by default set to false, and id is basically a random number. And after that we will just set to do, set that to do. So we can set to do why we use this previous, because to get the previous elements and just add the new element after that. And this element is added for make this input text in. So yes, then if we come here, delete is basically like I'm using this temporary because I just want to make sure that we don't mishandle this to do. So for that I will just use this temporary, and after that we just filter those items which we don't require depending on the id, and we just said could do it again. And it's completed is also same like this. Here we just change is completed value of the specific to do depending on the id where we click. That's it for today. Okay, thank you again. Yeah. And again, don't forget to share, like, share and subscribe my channel. Yes. Okay. So yes, quick note for guys who watch till the last, that yeah, I have shoot this video in two parts. First part, just I have added the ads I to do, and after that I have added this delete and complete to do. Why? Because I don't have that much time to do these videos, and yeah, that's all. And while shooting the second video, I take almost 3 attempts to shoot that video, not because of code, because of some technical problems, like I just saying blah blah things, and I haven't started my recording first, and after that I haven't set up my voice to actually I set a voice to 0 in the second attempt, and then third attempt is also same. So yes, yeah, that's why it takes some longer time. I think this video almost takes me to shoot almost, let me check, yeah, we can say it take almost 20 minutes now, and 20 30 minutes. Okay. So yes, thank you for watching the video till last, and hope few of the people will know that this video with that many attempts, this simple video. Sorry for that. Yeah, sometimes life is too complicated. Okay, so bye.